Naja, machen wir weiter. Ein bisschen Zeit habe ich noch. Bis ich mein Date abholen darf. Und dann einen entspannten Abend hoffentlich habe. Aber nur durchs Hören habe ich gewusst, dass der da kommt. Und du musst mir das gar nichts von der Seite so angucken. Es ist dasselbe wie immer, ne? Du hast gefressen und danach fühlst du dich ein bisschen gelangweilt. Das ist leider so. Mich unterhält auch keiner, nachdem ich gegessen habe. Hallo Lazarus. Da muss man halt mit leben. Dass man nicht den ganzen Tag bespaßt wird. Er hat wieder sein Spielzeug gebracht. Ach, weiter. Wir haben gleich Besuch, die spielt mit dir die ganze Zeit. Ich weiß, dann bin ich wieder zweite Geige erstmal. Moment, habe ich jetzt was übersehen? Okay, es ist einfach nur Deko. Ich dachte jetzt, die Kisten sind verdächtig, wenn die so aufgetürmt sind. Aber hat nichts zu bedeuten. Eigentlich daten alle immer nur den Hund. Ja, ist auch so. Aber es geht dann trotzdem darum, wie gehen die Personen mit dem Hund um. Das ist wichtig. Also das ist mit ein Bewertungskriterium von mir. Und ich habe auch schon mich von Frauen distanziert, weil die meines Erachtens mit dem Hund nicht gut umgegangen sind. Das ist halt dann so, als wenn du, weiß ich nicht, jemand mit Kind datest und kriegst halt mit, wie die dein Kind zum Beispiel fett nennt. Was bist du denn für ein fetter Moppel? Geht ja auch nicht klar. Dann gehst du ja auch nicht zum Kind und sagst, ja, du, Omas, es tut mir sehr leid, aber dein Vater, der will auch mal einen wegstecken. Da musst du halt durch, wenn dann meine Freundin zu dir sagt, dicker Moppel. Und dir in den Speck greift. Moment, jetzt bin ich irritiert. Ist das der... Solange deine Mutterwitze drankommen. Hier sind wir. Abkürzung. Wir müssen hier lang. Das ist schon der richtige Weg. Aber wenn ich durch eine Wand treten muss oder so, dann habe ich immer das Gefühl, ich bin auf einem Alternativweg. Der nichts mit der Quest an sich zu tun hat.
I'm getting closer to les Invalides. Here I should be able to cross the moat easily.
Was du hier aber manchmal... Ich kann es einfach nicht verstehen, dass du in dem Spiel Positionen hast auf der Straße oder so, wo du plötzlich stecken bleibst. Beim Laufen. Also das ist ein Souls-like-Spiel. Klar, du kannst einen Abgrund runterfallen beim falschen Ausweichen und. Das kennt man alles. Aber dass du durch irgendwas auf dem Weg blockiert wirst, weil die Entwickler gedacht haben, ja, wir müssen jetzt als zu Deko-Zwecken hier noch eine tiefere Schlammpfütze bauen. Boah. Das finde ich wirklich hart. Ach, weiter so. Hat er nicht gesagt, hier komme ich leicht über die Straße? Und jetzt guck dir mal das Ding an. Wie soll ich denn hier leicht über die Straße kommen? Soll ich jetzt wirklich hüpfen? Boah, das funktioniert sogar wirklich. Für mich sah es so weit aus. Ja, sehr gut. Hund hat sich wieder hingelegt.
Was no longer sustainable, Your Majesty. Your mechanical revolution has changed the face of the kingdom, but the coffers are woefully empty.
The debt, Monsieur Necker. This debt that you and your banking friends helped to create for your own benefit, and which is now forcing us to levy new taxes. Will my subjects be able to bear another tax?
Yes, Your Majesty, as long as it is distributed fairly. The representatives of the nobility, the clergy, and the Third Estate must come to an agreement. That is why we have convened the Estates General. Tomorrow you are to preside over the opening ceremonies.
Your Estates General. Nothing good can come of it. You have roused the spirit of rebellion. All I hear about are their damned cahiers de doléances. My rightful enjoyment is being challenged. The streets of Versailles are teeming with loudmouth fanatics with sacrilegious thoughts. Tell me, Monsieur le Ministre, have you purposely set this army of the unwashed against me?
Your Majesty, I have always been your most faithful servant.
Beware, Necker. Beware. I have a surprise in store for anyone who dares attack my throne.
Danke, Lago, für deinen Stufe 1 Sub. Danke sehr. Oh, sieht nach Boss aus. Der Schatztmeister. Du bist nicht der Schnellste. Oh mein Gott, er steckt was in sich rein. Naja. Boah, dann sterbe ich. Ah, nee. Oh. Ich hab Ausdauer gerade mit HP vertauscht. Ich bin einfach so fertig im Kichern manchmal, ey. So, ich gehe wirklich einfach auf Nummer sicher. Kein Bock zu sterben. Letzter Spawn ist weit weg. Boah, diese Mechanik mit dem Schlüssel, dass der so seine Fähigkeiten aktiviert, schon ganz cool ist, aber man merkt halt, der ist halt langsam, träge. Das spielt mir natürlich gut in die Karten, wodurch er halt wirklich nichts kann. Flöpp. Le Turm.
Suzanne, my dear Suzanne, take my hand, please. Don't let them take me away. No. Oh no, this has to stop. I don't want to be tormented anymore.
That is not my intention. I have come to rescue you.
Rescue me? But what on earth are you?
It is of no importance. What did you see and hear before you regained consciousness?
I had frightful visions, rageful wraiths filled with pain and sorrow. And it was cold enough to curdle the blood. Oh, it's impossible to describe. All the rage and anger. I was in another body, I think. So big, so powerful. And there was this commanding voice, ordering me to spread terror and death. Did I really hear it? Or did I momentarily lose my mind?
Die Geister, also, deshalb sind die in den Boxen, die kontrollieren die Bosse.
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked, my wife and I fled our home to hide not far from there, in the Église Sainte-Marie. But we didn't stand a chance against the machines. They overran the nave, wantonly mowing down the faithful. My wife, my poor wife, she wasn't able to escape. I'm sadly convinced of this. As for me, my life was spared only so I could be tormented. What is the meaning of all this?
Who are you, monsieur?
Don't you know? I'm Jacques Necker, Ministre des Finances. Well, I was before I was captured. But this situation suggests that the king has decided to dismiss me from his service.
What does he accuse you of?
My alleged connivance with the Third Estate, no doubt. And most of all, for having been the first to ask to convene the Estates General.
What did you see and hear before you regained consciousness?
I had frightful visions, rageful wraiths filled with pain and sorrow. And it was cold enough to curdle the blood. Oh, it's impossible to describe. All the rage and anger. I was in another body, I think. So big, so powerful. And there was this commanding voice, ordering me to spread terror and death. Did I really hear it? Or did I momentarily lose my mind?
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked.
So, das hatten wir ja schon.
They overran my wife. As for me, my life was spared only so
Oder?
I could
Doch,
be
das hatten
told
wir.
what is the meaning of all this.
What will you do now?
There is no future for me in this kingdom. I need to find a safe place where I can prepare for my departure as soon as possible.
I will take you to the Cordelier convent. You will be safe there.
À la bonne heure, she's back.
Aegis, what a joy and relief to see you again.
Monsieur,
Welcome to our stronghold. I'm sure that everyone here is aware of the great debt we all owe you. As you can see, the most exhausted among us are growing stronger.
While the most determined are already planning our counterattack.
I did not expect to see you all together.
4 days ago, the representatives of the Third Estate gathered in a tennis court. They swore not to separate until they had established a constitution for the nation. But that was not the only oath we swore. All the honorable men who were at Versailles, representatives and patriots, members of the Club Breton, secretly swore to meet here if they were dispersed.
You, Aegis, have allowed them to gather once again. Though unfortunately many are missing, we still have hope.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. Voyez-vous, I stay here whenever my obligations bring me to Paris. No other retreat inspires such peace and contemplation. Et puis, truth be told, this building has always felt like a fortress to me. Just look at how thick these walls are.
For 2 whole days, the patriots in the quarter consolidated the outer walls to make it an impenetrable citadel. No automat has broken through our defenses yet.
Where are the monks, mon père?
They are secluded in their quarters, praying for the salvation of the people of Paris. However, we bear no illusions. We are weak, we are divided.
And we are unarmed. Without you, without your warrior strength, we have no chance of turning things around.
You are sent by heaven above, Aegis. From now on, you may consider the Cordelier convent your headquarters and a welcome refuge.
We must speak, you and I, in private, if you please. Monsieur de Lafayette must not hear a word of what I'm about to tell you.
What do you mean? You all seem to be certain that I will use my strengths to serve your cause. Are you forgetting that I have a task to accomplish?
Not at all, madame. We all know and support your plan to free Monsieur de Vaucanson. That is why I've taken the time to think of a way for you to get to the Bastille.
I am listening.
There is a patriot in Paris whose pamphlets have aroused Monsieur de Lafayette's ire. His anger is so strong that the poor man had to disappear to escape arrest. I know that he is secretly hiding in the quarries in Montmartre. A labyrinth he is said to know like the back of his hand. If anyone can help you navigate the obstacles that keep you from the Bastille, it is the elusive Monsieur Marat.
Very well. I will go and find him.
Ja, bestimmt damit ein.
I owe you my life, madame. So I am embarrassed to ask you for anything more.
Do not fear. You have my full attention.
Suzanne, my beloved wife. I cannot bring myself to accept her death. Despite all the evidence, I still hope to see her alive again. I need to be sure. Mon Dieu. What have I done to deserve such a fate? Why has the king sworn to destroy me? And all that I hold dear. After everything I've done for him. My abnegation.
I will look into what happened to your wife.
Bless you, madame.
Where should I start my investigation?
In the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides. We were separated in the Église Sainte-Marie, on Rue de Bourgogne.
Why would the king owe you anything?
I dedicated my life to the kingdom as his minister. Well, my life and my fortune as well. I refused to accept any remuneration for my services, in order to keep the accounts balanced. And I personally filled the king's coffers with 2.5 million livres from my own private accounts, bonds in the Caisse d'Escompte, which the king keeps in a tailor-made armoire d'affaires in the Palais des Tuileries. He stores all his secrets there. I'd wager there's enough in there to sully his reputation 100 times over. You must retrieve these bonds post-haste, madame. They must not be used to allow this madman to build more murderous automats.
Do I have any chance of opening it?
Don't even think about it, madame. Despite your incredible strength, that safe is said to be impenetrable. It was designed precisely to that effect. I personally never had access to it. I suppose that its contents were too unofficial for the honest minister that I always was.
Who has the key?
The king does, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
How could I know? His shadow advisors, most likely. Now that I think about it, there's a rumor that has been going round Versailles for a while now. It's said that Monsieur de Mirabeau used to come and go as he pleased at the Tuileries, that he oversaw diplomatic missions for the crown. Not in any official capacity, of course. Who knows? He might know more about this matter than I do.
I will ask him. I shall be off.
You are the only hope of seeing my beloved wife again, and of foiling the plans of the clockwork tyrant.
Eine Frau wird
Monsieur
tot sein.
Madame? Eh bien, do you come bearing good news?
I'm not done investigating.
Don't give up. Remember, the last time I saw my poor wife...
Ja, das wird ja markiert sein. Gemeindepfarrer von Embervenil, Montpierre. Unsere Ordensregeln verbieten uns die Beteiligung an säkularen Angelegenheiten. Durch Gebet und nur durch Gebet werden wir die Seelen derer retten, die der Herr in seiner heiligen Barmherzigkeit zu sich ruft. Ich vertraue ihnen die Reliquien unserer Bruderschaft an und bete, dass sie so wie jene, die an ihrer Seite im Speisesaal unseres Konvents Schutz suchen, von den Verwüstungen verschont bleiben, die uns ereilen könnten. Möge Gott sie behüten. Ohne Scheiß, ich habe in diesem Spiel einfach die größten Probleme mit allen Texten. Ich schwöre, ich kann theoretisch lesen.
I'm listening, Aegis.
I went to the meeting point you indicated. I had an unexpected encounter there.
Get to the facts. Who did you meet there?
Madame de Polignac, the Queen's favorite. She made no secret of her reason for being in that desolate place. So now I know all about the precious cargo that is the cause of your great concern.
Seigneur. The children. What happened? Tell me that nothing bad has happened to them.
That remains to be determined. One thing is certain. Charlotte and the young Dauphin are missing. The evidence points to an ambush by the Duc d'Orléans' men. They apparently attacked the wagon the children were hiding in.
How the hell did they know?
This ambush could not have taken place without an accomplice. You were betrayed.
A plague on Orléans and his damned informants. They have taken the children.
That still remains to be seen. It seems that the Duke's men were interrupted while carrying out their task. 3 of them lost their lives. A 4th was able to escape.
Excellent. I bet it was my hussars who sent the vermin running. But why the hell haven't they reported to me yet?
Only they could tell you that.
Would you be so kind as to go and find them? The lives of these poor children hang in the balance. My hussars are stationed at Les Invalides. That's from where they were to set off for Gros Caillou.
Goodbye, Monsieur le...
Denkt doch an die Kinder.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Aegis, I'd like to talk to you about my research. Do you have a few moments to spare for me?
Certainly, mon père. I am listening.
I've carefully collected the testimony of our companions here.
Then I compared them with the observations made during my investigation of the man who calls himself Cagliostro. I came to quite the shocking conclusion. I believe I have discovered how the royal automats remain constantly in motion, like clocks that never need winding. They get their energy from the souls of the dead, Aegis. They drink from the anima essence that permeates the purgatory described by Monseigneur de la Fare. These machines feed on the dead. The greater the massacre, the deeper the river where they slake their thirst.
Naja, das ist das, was ich ja schon zwischendurch aufgedeckt habe. Durch Beobachtung.
Is there any way to stop the bloodshed, mon père?
I believe there is always hope, Aegis. As long as I remain free to pursue my research, I will never lose faith. I keep thinking about the three Nemes. These echoes. All of this is clearly related to Nicholas Flamel's work.
The alchemist?
Precisely, mon ami. And this leads me to fear the worst.
What have we to fear from an alchemist who died nearly 4 centuries ago?
Not him, per se. Rather, the heretic who is exploiting his discoveries. This poses a grave danger to us all.
What do you fear, mon père?
What do I fear? Nearly 2 months ago, the king forbade anyone from setting foot inside the Église Saint-Jacques de la Boucherie, near the Hôtel de Ville. He had the priests forcibly removed. They hardly even had time to save the church's sacred relics. Since then, only our Father in Heaven knows what they've been doing there, hidden away from the people of Paris.
Mon Dieu. Flamel's tomb.
My thoughts exactly, Monseigneur. Legend has it that Flamel was buried with his lapis philosophorum.
What is the lapis philosophorum, mon père?
The Philosopher's Stone. Where do I begin? No one knows its true nature, or even what it might look like. All that is known is that it is said to grant untold riches and eternal life to whoever possesses it. Its very existence is questioned, of course. But if it's true, just imagine what sinister purpose the king and his accomplices might find for it. We must elucidate this matter at any cost.
Where is this tomb?
In the church's crypt. The priests always ensured that it remained undisturbed, despite the mystery surrounding it. But now they're no longer there to protect it. We need to know for certain.
But how? There are automats everywhere.
Aegis,
Oui, mon père.
will you help us get to the bottom of this?
Did you not say that it was impossible to enter the church?
There is perhaps a solution. The penitent's door behind the Châtelet leads to the Quartier de l'Hôtel de Ville. It's only opened on Good Friday, but this year, I had the honor and good fortune to lead the procession. Here is the key.
Danke.
Goodbye, mon père.
Übrigens, das mit dem französischen Lesen, also das hat einfach damit zu tun, das ist die Angst vor französischen Wörtern. Dadurch gucke ich einfach und denke so, gleich kommt wieder irgendein Wort, was ich nicht aussprechen kann, weil es einfach französisch ist.
My respects, Monseigneur.
I didn't expect to see you again so soon, Aegis. We missed you when we had to leave our shelter at Place Saint-Méry. The path that led us to this convent was not an easy one, believe me.
Goodbye.
Allez,
So, du hast nichts Neues. So Gott will, wird dieser Brief dich vor dem Zusammentreten der Generalstände erreichen. Wir ermuntern dich, gegen Versailles zu wettern und dich nicht auf landwirtschaftliche Fragen zu beschränken. Wir müssen vorbringen, dass wir keine Deputiers haben und dass das, was die weißen Abgeordneten fordern, nicht zum Gesetz für uns werden sollte. Sei streitbar und bekämpfe die Verachtung, die sie uns entgegenbringen. Wir raten dir, auch mit Monsieur Necker zu sprechen. Seine wohltätigen Werke zeugen von Menschlichkeit und deuten an, dass er ein offenes Ohr für die Unterdrückten haben wird. Adieu, bleibe gesund, dein Freund und Bruder François Raymond.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Ja, ich rede auch mit dir. Mit
Monsieur
Julian.
Raymond.
Aegis, we are very pleased to see you again. It was very unwise of us to leave the Société without such a capable bodyguard as yourself. It is a miracle that we got here safely.
What do you want to talk to me about?
Have you ever heard of the Club de Massiac, Aegis?
No, monsieur.
It's an association that meets at the Hotel de Massiac, just west of Les Halles. It counts some of the wealthiest plantation owners in the Empire. Those from Saint-Domingue and the Petite Santé are most formidable adversaries. They are waging a war of influence to keep the slave trade going, and resort to the vilest methods to achieve their ends. They worship nothing but money. Their greed is matched only by their cruelty. Regrettably, my interests occasionally require me to suffer their company. 2 months ago, I was in Le Havre to settle some business with the Admiralty, when I overheard a conversation between 2 planters from Bastère. If they are to be believed, the Club de Marcillac is plotting to create sleepless slaves, des esclaves sans sommeil. Those were their exact words. It's hard to say what this could possibly mean, but I fear they plan to administer some foul drug to their slaves to force them to toil day and night, without rest. Our organization will not let these poor souls endure such a hell. Aegis, we must look into this. It is a matter of great urgency.
You speak of greed, Monsieur Raymond. But could you enlighten us as to what makes you any different from the planters you condemn?
What exactly do you accuse me of, Monsieur de Robespierre? S'il vous plaît, do tell.
Do you not also exploit the labor of these poor souls yourself on your indigo plantation?
I fight every minute of every day to improve their condition. No one would have the audacity to deny this.
If that's the case, then why wait? Free them. You preach abolition, yet you continue to line your pockets at their expense. The truth is, you refuse to upend the established colonial order because your entire fortune depends on it.
It's easy to criticize from atop Mount Olympus, Maximilian. You know nothing of the realities of Saint-Domingue. What would happen to all these people if I freed them tomorrow? Without an education, without a livelihood, I would be condemning them to the most abject misery. No. I must act with both compassion and realism.
Any reform, revolutionary or not, must be taken step by step, with moderation and prudence.
This reform is not so difficult. I've begun it myself at La Belle Gabrielle, my plantation in Guyane. There you will not find slaves, but workers who earn a weekly wage. And my plantation is no less profitable.
Ah, yes, profit. Because that's the most important thing. Don't you see, the law of nature gives every man the right to cultivate his own land.
Monsieur, calm yourselves. I implore you. Now is no time to quarrel. What Monsieur Raymond has related to us is extremely worrying. We must find out more about this plot to create sleepless slaves as quickly as possible. Aegis, you are the only one who stands a chance of making it to the Hôtel de Marcillac alive.
Die schlaflosen Sklaven werden... Ja. Das sind halt die, die einfach in den Dingern festsitzen. Weil ich glaube inzwischen, dass Aegis auch jemand ist, der irgendwo in der Truhe liegt und die wird halt gesteuert. Weil ist halt von der Verbindung her höher technologisiert. Und wenn du natürlich Sklaven mit Automatensteuerung machst, dann würden die auch schlafen und der Automat würde arbeiten. Aber die Lebenskraft kommt von dem Sklaven, der halt in der Kiste ruht. Was nützen Verstand, Scharfsinn, Kühnheit und Beharrlichkeit, wenn sie nicht für das Allgemeinwohl eingesetzt werden? Das Volk wird nicht vergessen, dass Monsieur Necker vor einem Jahr eine organisierte Hungersnot in die Wiege leitete. Dadurch, dass er im Sommer 1788 eine drohende Knappheit ankündigte, schürte er mutwillig die hohen Brotpreise. Dann nutzte er diese Inflation als Vorwand, um ein öffentliches Monopol einzuführen und die Bäcker ihrer Freiheit zu berauben, sich nach eigenem Ermessen Vorräte zu beschaffen. Auf diese Weise, lieber Leser, riss unser Philanthrop das gesamte Korn des Königreichs an sich, um seinen Komplizen Spekulationsgewinne zu ermöglichen. Seine Freunde, die Minister, Edelleute, Richter und andere kluge Gauner waren an dem Komplott beteiligt. Gemeinsam machten diese Räuber aus dem Unglück des Königreichs ein profitables Geschäft, unterstützt von allen Dienern und Huren des Hofes. Meine Feder ist frei, Bürger, und sie wird Monsieur Necker schonungslos verfolgen, solange er am Steuerrad der Staatsgeschäfte bleibt. Sie wird seine Verbrechen aufdecken, bis der Hungersspekulant dem gerechten Volkszorn nicht mehr entgehen kann und sein Heil in der Flucht sucht. So, jetzt habe ich schon vergessen.
Do you come bearing news?
No.
I have it on good authority that he is in the quarries in Montmartre. He's the only person who could show you a way to reach the Bastille. Don't forget.
Mit wem ich geredet habe.
Is your plan to arm the populace going as planned?
Oh, far from it, madame. The situation is hopeless. Even if they were armed and formed into battalions, the patriots would not be able to fight.
Why is that?
Most of the strategic points in the city are inaccessible. A strange illness strikes all who try. They are seized by an irrational fear, one so great that those who do not lose consciousness go mad or perish on the spot. This makes it impossible to do anything. Any attempt at an uprising is a fool's errand.
The locations you mentioned share a common feature. A statue holding a lantern.
That's right. From what little I could make out, they appear to be depictions of a Vestal Virgin watching over the sacred fire.
Une lanterne des morts.
What do you mean, monsieur?
Lanterns of the dead. Ancient stone pillars that are found near some cemeteries. Our ancestors kept a fire going on top of them. Today, no one knows what they were used for. A symbol of light triumphing over darkness, perhaps? Others claim that human bones, mercury and lime, were burnt there. Some odious sorcery that was meant to entrap the tormented souls that wandered around the burial grounds.
That makes sense and confirms my observations. I'm now certain that the King's lanterns capture the anima essence of the dead who have been cast into purgatory. And that this essence is what allows the automats to stay in motion, without needing a key to wind them.
Pater noster qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum.
Now that I think about it, madame, you obviously are not subject to the harmful effects of these lanterns.
No, au contraire. When activated, these statues reveal an apparatus that allows me to repair myself.
It follows that if you destroy these lanterns, the people will be free to fight again.
Unfortunately, they are preternaturally strong. Nothing can so much as damage them.
Come now, no metal is indestructible. If we knew what these lanterns were made of, perhaps I could find a way to destroy them.
Take a look at this ledger, Monsieur Lavoisier. It contains a list of metals. I found it by the factories, near Vaucanson's workshop.
Let's see. Steel, molybdenum, very good. Tiens, donc, tungsten and zirconium. This master blacksmith knows his trade. These metals can be used to make the strongest alloy imaginable, as long as you have a fortune to invest.
For that, our clockwork tyrant knows no bounds.
Well, Monsieur Lavoisier, is there any way to break this alloy?
Break it? Certainly not. But a mineral acid could change its structure. Melt it, perhaps. I would recommend sulfuric acid, or vitriol, if you prefer to use its common name.
Where can I obtain some vitriol?
I had some, but my laboratory at l'Arsenal was ransacked. I can't tell you any more than that. You should ask my colleague, Monsieur Bailly. He uses similar substances in his research.
Oh, und dann stellt euch die alle wieder zusammen, wodurch ich wieder nicht weiß, mit wem ich geredet habe. Ja, mit dir habe ich ja geredet. Jetzt willst du auch nicht mehr. Bei dir bin ich mir gerade nicht sicher.
What does this letter mean?
Who gave you the right to read my correspondence?
I'm curious about how you got rid of Italia. As if it burned your fingers.
To tell you the truth, you're not entirely wrong. It is a missive sent by my father, the Marquis de Mirabeau, the scoundrel who shamelessly dares to call himself the friend of man. He writes to say that he is on the brink of death, in such a desperate state that he has received extreme unction. This reprobate used his final moments on this mortal plane to send me threats yet again. He swears that he will torment me from beyond the grave.
How is that possible?
To my knowledge, he has not yet deigned to shuffle off this mortal coil. In any case, the satisfaction of knowing he is dead would not assuage my concern. This man is more persistent than the plague. He's capable of anything. He has spent his entire life persecuting his family. And I believe he is ready to spend his eternal rest continuing to do the same. I need to know what he's planning.
Where is he now?
At his home in Argenteuil. Given the circumstances, going to ask him for an explanation is out of the question. But the man who heard his final confession is here.
Monseigneur de la Fare.
Precisely. Only this confounded shaveling refuses to tell me a word of what the old dragon confided to him. He stubbornly insists on the secrecy of confession. Bon sang. Will we ever be rid of these damned superstitions? Aegis, would you be so kind as to intercede with the bishop? Perhaps you will be able to make him change his mind.
Ist ja auch eine große Schwäche, dass du, sag ich mal, wie in so einem jetzt hier mit allen Leuten dich erstmal kaputt reden musst. Über 20, 30 Minuten. Der Bischof. Aye. Nicht der, sondern du.
Monseigneur.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
Monseigneur. I would like to talk to you about your recent meeting with the Marquis de Mirabeau.
What has gotten into all of you? This has gone on long enough. I will say it one last time and pray that they will finally leave me alone. Nothing and no one will make me violate the secrecy of his confession. Have I made myself clear?
Perfectly clear, Monseigneur.
Monsieur de Mirabeau Bescheid sagen.
Monsieur de Mirabeau.
Ich bin Bote.
Alas, the bishop stubbornly refused to reveal anything.
Damn it. I need to know what my rogue of a father is up to. Let me think. In light of the cartload of threats he sent me, it's safe to wager that my sister and mother received similar letters. They may even have already suffered his revenge. However, my sister lives in Grasse in the south of France. Unless a messenger rode 100 horses to death, she could not have received this letter. Then there is my poor mother.
If you ask me, I will go to find her.
Yes, it's very kind of you to offer. But I couldn't even tell you where she is staying.
Your own mother?
Indeed. It's a very embarrassing matter. A secret, which I beg you not to divulge.
I can be discreet. Rest assured.
Very well. You should know that my mother, the Countess of Covey, has lost everything. Truly. First her fortune, then her faculties. No matter what I tried, nothing could prevent her decline. It is said that she is now living on charity, in the most abject poverty in the slums of the Marais. If perchance your past takes you to this dreadful place, and if she still remembers who she is, perhaps you may meet her.
Ich verlasse jetzt diesen Raum. Geht einfach nicht klar.